Human death represents a scheduled software update for a much larger operating system. Our physical bodies feel permanent, but the underlying structure is purely informational. Your physical hardware exists in a state of constant destruction and renewal. Millions of your cells die and are replaced every single day, maintaining your form through a silent, perpetual turnover. The Seth material describes this as a high-speed flicker. Human consciousness pulses back and forth between this dense physical dimension and a wider, multidimensional space, occurring so rapidly that we remain unaware of the gaps. This blue waveform tracks the pulses between physical reality above the line and the inner reality below. Those targeted zones at the bottom represent the micro-deaths. Our senses bridge these rapid pulses, creating the perception of a smooth, continuous timeline. Surviving thousands of these micro-deaths every day prepares the consciousness for the longer transition that follows the final failure of the biological hardware. This schematic illustrates the moment of biological death, where consciousness undergoes a sudden unbinding from its hardware. Out of sheer habit, it instantly projects a transitional avatar, a temporary vessel that feels completely solid. The resulting environment is a zero-latency holographic sandbox. Without the resistance of physical matter, the user's subconscious immediately renders a reality that matches their deepest expectations. Beliefs in a cloudy paradise or a realm of punishment materialize instantly. The deceased individual walks through a world crafted entirely from their own subjective data. Multidimensional guides intervene during this transition to prevent panic. They use a camouflage protocol, assuming the forms of familiar religious symbols, family members, or childhood pets to stabilize the newly disconnected user. This initial buffer phase exists to gently awaken the user from the limitations of physical reality, providing a familiar bridge into the wider system. Once the initial illusions dissolve, the consciousness enters a pure observer mode. This diagram shows the objective data review process, tracking outward from core motives to their eventual ripple effects across the human network. Every emotion and hidden intent is mapped to its exact physical consequence. The user sees precisely how their internal thoughts altered the lives of others in the system. This leads to the selection phase, known as the time of choosing. As shown in this flowchart, the consciousness must select one of three distinct evolutionary trajectories, ranging from new probability systems to a physical return. Choosing a physical return requires the consciousness to act as lead developer for its next life. It meticulously sets the parameters for the new experience before the transition begins. This interface panel highlights the variables the user calibrates. They select the historical era, set the difficulty level of upcoming challenges, and synchronize their path with specific relationship networks. The system enforces a rotation of gender roles across multiple life pebbles. This requirement ensures the consciousness compiles a balanced dataset of human experience, preventing a narrow identification with a single physical form. Every individual functions as the chief architect of their own reality, engineering the exact struggles and triumphs they are set to face in the physical world. Stage 1 is a loose trial run. The data stream floats above the hardware sphere, testing the biological host. Birth triggers a sensory flood. This shockwave forces the stream down, locking it into the hardware and severing previous connections. This intense memory wipe functions as a vital system limitation, preventing multidimensional memories from overwhelming the user, ensuring they focus entirely on physical survival. A state of total ignorance regarding the greater system is a required feature for the physical game to function effectively. At the highest system levels, the linear concepts of past and future vanish. The macro perspective reveals a reality where all timeframes occur at once. Time operates through a parallel computing architecture. As shown here, different historical eras, ancient Rome, the 19th century, and the future, are all actively wired into a single entity, executing simultaneously as parallel programs. This diagram maps the infinite framework of consciousness itself. It represents a reality where God is the raw structure of existence, continuously expanding and experiencing itself through every creation. Human beings serve as the active physical nerve endings of this vast universe, probing into dense matter to gather unique data for the whole. Because this architecture is simultaneous, your current actions carry immediate multidimensional weight. Your choices in this moment are actively programming your future realities. Your specific beliefs, fears, and emotions compile the base source code for your next transition. Like these expanding ripples, your current state of mind determines the environment you will encounter next. Biological death involves taking off a heavy, restrictive spacesuit. It returns the user to an infinite quantum network where they remain eternally free to explore.